Alright guys, you might be wondering what's going on here. I will enlighten you. This is me trying to mock up how I'm going to make the downpipes, because basically I need to join the pipe from here, the back of the turbo, into this. We're going to cut this off and put a V-band there, but yeah, this is part of the new exhaust system, which is 2.5 inch, and then it goes to 3 inch all the way back. But because I've only got one pair of hands, I can't really hold this in place the whole time and keep mocking things up. So I've tried to sort of cable tie it in place as best I can. Gets me a rough idea, that's pretty much where it's going to sit. So yeah, it gives me a rough idea to start making stuff. The noise you can hear over there is that cutting some pie cuts, because we're going to need a lot of pie cuts. We're also going to need an expander to go from, it starts off 2 inch in the turbo, which is very small. So we're going to expand up to 2.5 inch about here. We also need to weld on a bung for the O2 sensor. Yeah, we've got quite a few things to figure out, and hopefully there's enough room for the downpipe and the screamer pipe, which I probably need to remake because we moved the manifold around since I made the first lot. So yeah, lots to do. Let's go make some pie cuts, do some welding. So this contraption is what we've got so far. I've not welded every single bit yet because I've still got to add some bits onto the end to make it all line up nicely, but yeah, we've got the expander in there, that's that piece, and then we've got this flap section here where we're going to weld the O2 sensor. Of course, we've still got to do the other side as well, not even started that yet. But yeah, let's go put this one on the car, see if it's warped a lot and doesn't fit anymore, hopefully not. So this is how it sits at the moment, and like I say, we need to kind of mate it up to this thing, which I think I'm going to wait for one of my friends to turn up later today and give me a hand with just positioning the whole exhaust system in place so that we know exactly where this is going to be, and then we can kind of do a proper job of those last few bits. But for now, we can weld on the O2 sensor bung and also make a start on this side as well. Also, I mentioned that we're probably going to have to remake the screamer pipes. Here's one of the original screamer pipes. This one we could probably get away with, to be honest, just chopping the end off because it sits a little bit low. But it doesn't get in the way of anything we're doing over here. So we can probably modify this one pretty easily. And the other side might be a bit worse. One interesting thing is comparing the welding on, because this was earlier on in my stainless welding stuff. And this is newer stuff, so hopefully you can see it's got a little bit neater. I mean, it's not improved that much, let's be honest, but a little bit. One other thing to mention is that you might notice these flanges have changed slightly. I filmed a little bit the other day of modifying them. I'll show you that now. Right, one random little job that we've got to do is sorting this out, this flange. I've already done part of the job, which is to weld a little wall onto there. Basically the reason for that is so that it keeps this separate from this. Now we're going to be blanking this off, and that is the other part of this job, is welding something over the top of here to cap this off, because the wastegate itself is welded shut, because we're using external wastegates. So you might think, what's the point in having a wall here to separate the two if that's not doing anything? Anyway, the reason is because when that's blocked off, let's say there wasn't a wall here, all the gas coming out of the exhaust can just sort of go into this area, hit the flat roof above it, and it's just going to create a lot of turbulence. And like, obviously it'll escape eventually, it'll get out of the main exhaust hole, but it's just extra turbulence, extra like airflow issues that, for the sake of how long it took to do this, which is like a few minutes, may as well just weld a little wall in there. So yeah, is it going to make a massive difference? Is it going to change how much power we're going to make and stuff? Probably not, but again, for how easy and quick it was to just weld that wall in there, may as well do it. So let's do the second bit now, which is welding something over here to cover this up. Right, I've just chopped this bit of 3mm steel out to roughly the right size for this. So we're just going to weld it in, and then we'll probably go over it with a flat disc to make it look like it was never there. So this is what we've ended up with. Like I said, it didn't have to look nice, and it didn't turn out looking nice, but it doesn't matter, because we're just going to take a flap disc and just grind it all flat, so you can't even see it's there. So there we go, it's all done. It's not too bad of a job. I could tidy it up a bit more with some sandpaper or whatever, but I don't think it's worth it because no one's ever really going to see this. But yeah, it's good enough. But getting back to these downpipes, I need to weld the flange on for the O2 sensor. So let's do that. Dig. Pop it up like that. Yeah, now we're talking. We've got two sketchy tacks on there. So now we can try to weld the whole thing all the way around, which is going to be awkward because we've got gaps because it's not a flat surface. But we'll do our best. No, 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 no. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it like eats into the sort of bottom of the fitting, and this happens with every like weld-on fitting that I do. It sort of just takes, well, stainless steel one, sorry, aluminium seems alright, but it just takes like chunks out of the bottom of the fitting. Anyone who knows about welding, why is this happening? And the only way I can kind of fix it is to just go around it with a second bead like halfway up to sort of cover up that edge that's gone all weird, but I don't get why it does it. I've tried it on like more heat, less heat, slower, faster, whatever, but it just always takes chunks out the bottom of the fitting. Anyway, let's do another bead, tidy it up. Right, I've just done a second pass and it's looking a little bit better, but still got the same problem on this side especially. Just kind of eating into the bottom section, but whatever, it'll be strong enough and it'll be airtight, so it's not a massive issue. I'm just kind of curious why it happens and how to stop it doing it. But yeah, let's go put it on the car, make sure the O2 sensor actually fits. Right, the O2 sensor is in and fits nicely. What we've also done, thanks to Phil, who is off camera, he's camera shy. You don't want to do a face reveal just yet. What we've also done is got all the exhaust system in properly and just about got it to fit around the anti-roll bar. A little bit tight there, but that's what happens when you add a 3-inch exhaust to a car that had like a 2-inch as standard or whatever it was. And yeah, we've also cut the ends off this new exhaust, which was fun, and tacked these V-band flanges in place. So now we've got to make the downpipe meet that basically on both sides. So that is what we're going to spend the next probably hour or so doing.
One eternity later.
I've just finished welding this downpipe. I'm pretty much done. Go put it on the car. So this is what it looks like on the car. Obviously the screamer pipe's probably going to change a bit, but yeah, the downpipe is pretty much done. The last thing I've got to do is weld it to the flange there, which I'm kind of nervous about in case I don't get it at the exact right angle and everything, and it ends up fucking all this work that we've done. But yeah, it's looking good. We've got enough clearance to the chassis up there. You probably can't see, but it's not too bad. It's pretty solid. Can't move it. We've got just enough clearance above this thing. Can pull this down a bit because we kind of need to level it all, so it'll sit about there. So we've got just enough clearance to that. I'm probably going to make some extra exhaust hangers coming off this maybe, or off the chassis rails at the side somewhere maybe, because the only exhaust hangers are all the way back here. One there and then two right at the back over there. So to help sort of take a little bit of extra weight, because like the turbos have basically got the weight of the entire exhaust system all the way up to those hangers hanging off them. So help take some of the weight off that. I'm going to add some extra hangers around here somewhere, but that's a job for another day. For now, I need to focus on doing this other side, which we made a good start on. Got everything sort of tacked in place there. Just need to make the last couple of bits to join these together. All right, let's get this thing finished off. Here we go, all done. These are the welds that we just did. I'm just waiting for it to cool down, like I say. Got a little bit messy in places. Not the best out of all the ones that I've done on this piece, but they will do. Also, I started rushing it a bit, which is why it's kind of overheated and bright purple in some places, but couldn't be asked to wait for it to cool down. Right, we've got everything on the car and we're all good. Everything fits, lines up as it should. So I think that'll probably do for this video. I mean, I've still got to weld on the O2 sensor bung like I have on this side. Still got to do that on this side, but yeah, I'm not going to bother filming that. So that will do for this video. We've got downpipes on. We're making progress. I'm not sure what will be the next video, but whatever it is, I will see you there.